That beautiful belt is on the line, and we're not quite there yet, but we're in the quarterfinals of the upper bracket, and they already have not disappointed. Kilson with a 2-0 win over Base, and now we are going to be moving into our next quarterfinals, welcoming back to the desk 40 Lions and Flea. Before we talk about who we've got in this matchup, let's take a quick look at the brackets. I also want to update you as we have two additional players that their tournament life has ended. Cooler fell to Sparty 2-0, and Maxter fell to Dramas 2-0, and that means that Cooler and Maxter joined Saigib and Nasfa as our first four players out of the tournament. A little surprising. Cooler hasn't had the greatest 13-week stage one results, but unfortunately he followed that up with some not so stellar results here for the stage one finals.
F's in the chat for those who have fallen, but it's going to happen. This is the environment we're in as we get closer and closer to chopping it down to the top 8.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that there's quite a few people disappointed, right? Toxic, first out of the Quake Pro League in its entirety, now Cooler, another fan favorite, dropping out. Clearly, the level of play has just increased dramatically over these past few weeks and stages as players are just getting better and better.
And now we set up our next quarterfinal. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be DaHanG versus RAISY. And let's talk a little bit about DaHanG as, he floated in that top 3 of the Americas region pretty much the entire time. Of course, Chain coming in and disrupting that a little bit in the Americas. And DaHanG is just... he's the accountant, right? He's got great mental fortitude. He controls all the times in his head. He is usually very calculated, doesn't necessarily play with emotion. Unfortunately, the last time that these two met, it didn't really go in his favor. Flea, I don't want to take away your thunder because you're always a man who's got the history and the stats. So, your thoughts on the last two times that the last time that these two have met?
The last time that these two met was in the Stage 4 finals, right? The Quake World Championship. It was on finals day, DaHanG making it through, RAISY, same thing there. But then when they met, it was a clean and decisive victory for the Maestro player, RAISY taking it down 3-0, Wheat.
Yep, exactly right. And that was in the lower bracket, eliminating DaHanG, and ultimately, RAISY going on and moving forward in that tournament. And, RAISY is, I don't know, like 40, I'll go to you. Do you think RAISY last season, everyone's like, oh, watch out, RAISY is the one to watch out for. He certainly showed this with his results. But I do think that there's been a lot of players who have kind of acclimated to RAISY's style, and that's given him some trouble. Still an amazing player, no doubt. But I'm curious to hear what you think about RAISY in this matchup versus DaHanG.
I mean, usually you think RAISY, immediately you think clutch, right? But week in, week out, we're starting to see cracks in that clutch play. Not necessarily cracks, but people overcoming that clutch play. It's not as stifling. People have kind of found a way to play around it. Rafa, Avik, stuff like that. So I'm wondering if that's going to play into the pick bans at all. But DaHanG's also no slouch on clutch. Obviously, the biggest upset here is we won't get to see the clutch mirror match, which I'm sure chat would love to see. But in this setup, I think RAISY still has what it takes to take down DaHanG. DaHanG is kind of been on a decline a little bit. I know he's in that top 3 for NA, but I just don't know if he's on point enough to take over RAISY. I feel like RAISY's just feeling it. He's always on. And to be honest, I just want to see how many gauntlets come out. We've already seen it earlier, so it might happen again. DaHanG needs to be careful.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to agree with that. If I were to be put on the spot, I would put my bets on RAISY as well, both based on their previous history when they played each other last time, but also, just like 40 just said, DaHanG kind of slipping away from that top 2 spot down to the 3rd place in NA. Still, of course, an incredibly talented player, but a lot of his games over the past few weeks have been a little bit iffy. A lot of 2-1s where he just barely managed to secure himself the victory. I still remember the game against Nasfa, I think it was, came down to the wire, the very end, just barely winning by 1 or 2 frags. So DaHanG definitely hasn't been on top form.
I mean, to your point, Flea, maybe the quarterfinals is where everything changes, right?
Yep.
Because I would have said exactly the same thing about Kilson during the 13 weeks of stage 1. And he just came out and absolutely, tore base a new one. And, is DaHanG, is that possible here? I don't know. We'll take a look at the picks and bans. But I do like the fact that this is a new day. It is a tournament. Doesn't matter what your results were in the 13 weeks leading up to this. All that matters is this matchup now. Awoken, Ruins of Sarnath, and Deep Embrace are your maps on the table. 40, your thoughts?
I really like DaHanG on the Strog on Ruins against that Visor. I feel like that's a pretty good matchup. Awoken to kick it off, though. Doom Guy versus Keel. I love pineapples, man. And right there, we see that clutch ban. DaHanG is like, I don't want any part of that. And then if we go to a map number 3, Nyx versus Ranger, I like to favor Ranger a little bit on that. I know Nyx has that wall jump, very able to traverse the map rather easily. Also, the Ghost Walk is always a huge opportunity to get out of danger or also play super aggressive. But for this matchup, I still would go with RAISY, even though I like the picks for DaHanG. I just feel like RAISY just has that it factor, and he's feeling it really well, and he has that ability to play hyper-aggressive if he wants to, and I don't really see that from DaHanG a lot. DaHanG plays around the items a lot. He plays more of a control-type style, and I feel like if RAISY comes out swinging, plays hyper-aggressive, DaHanG may not be able to fend him off.
Yeah, looking at these picks, I'm thinking that, well, the first map slightly favors RAISY, but other than that, I feel like DaHanG has probably gotten the better picks, but still, that isn't going to change my prediction. I still think that it will be RAISY taking this one, but it's going to be a difficult matchup to be sure, and I could absolutely see DaHanG take at least one map away from his opponent.
40, what do you think for prediction?
I mean, I've cursed everybody, so does it even matter at this point? Who do you want to lose? And I'll just say the name, I guess, because I'm a curse. Chad is like, please don't predict anymore. 40, just shut up. More puns. I don't know. I want to say RAISY. I want to say RAISY, but hopefully it goes 3 maps. I think DaHanG can put up a fight. I just feel like RAISY can just play hyper-aggressive and kind of just dismantle DaHanG.
Well, we'll find out officially after this matchup if you are indeed cursing the players of the QPL Stage 1 Finals. I'm going to leave it to you two, gentlemen. 40 Lions and Flea will be your casters for this journey. Take it away.
Flea, we're back at it again.
Hell
How
yeah.
you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great, dude. Great Quake we've seen today, and there's plenty more ahead of us, starting with this very matchup. Now, of course, chat, keep in mind, we've also got twitch.tv/Quake2, the B stream, where there's double the action for no added charge whatsoever. So do keep a tab on that second stream as well, because there is a lot of Quake going on. Every single game in this finals is being streamed, and I can assure you that you don't want to miss any of it.
I think right now, actually going down, it's Zanako and Avik, and they're boot camping with each other, so they have the ability to get up and punch each other in the face if they want. I don't know if that would be on the stream, but yeah, definitely check that out if you want. Use those dual monitors that you have at home. I know people have amazing setups, but I hear the noises in the background. Flea, we're getting closer and closer to getting into this game.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like we are ready. Awoken, map number 1 between DaHanG and RAISY. I think it's going to be a good one.
This is indeed going to be a great one. DaHanG, number 3 NA, RAISY, number 3 EU. Both of these players have gone up against each other a fair few times in the past. This one should be sparking as we kick this off. On DaHanG's point of view, securing himself the better stack and landing a good opening rail as well. Now RAISY does already have, or no, doesn't actually have the LG, which is why DaHanG is so carefully monitoring that item. RAISY jumping down now, doesn't have a railgun, so unable to take these long distance trades. But it looks like DaHanG wants to content himself with just setting up for Mega, and that is of course a very standard play by the American. 40, you said it yourself, DaHanG plays the items like a boss, but perhaps lacks a bit of the aggression that RAISY does have.
Yeah, I mean, right off the spawn, he got all the items. He's going to get the second cycle as well, but still not a lot of damage, if any. Tri-Bolt for RAISY was the one that landed damage, and DaHanG just needs to try and find RAISY here and just misses him. Takes a wrong turn, has the opportunity here. RAISY playing so slow, so smart, waiting to try and get in on one of these items.
RAISY, literally 0 major items picked up. This is because he chose to be aggressive at the start, wanted to pressure DaHanG. Didn't really have the right weapons to do so. All he had was really the nail gun to work with at that distance, but here we go. The Maestro player making a move on the heavy, won't even be able to pick it up. as a combination of rockets and pineapples sent him off the spot. And it will be DaHanG who also manages to pick up the small armor as well. Now RAISY, good positioning right there, using the double jump to his advantage, dodging rockets left and right. Can he get on the Mega? Doesn't even need it to clean up the frag. Now he might be establishing some sort of control.
Yeah, great play from RAISY using that choke point, that LG, the double jump, of course, to dodge any incoming damage. That's going to be such a nuisance for DaHanG as he does get in on the heavy little bit of pineapples, trying to get some information here. RAISY playing so patient, just waiting, avoiding all the damage, positioning there as DaHanG with a little bit of LG, forcing RAISY towards the rockets. This should be a free Mega for DaHanG. RAISY gonna try and grab this 50 shard and kind of take it slow. There's DaHanG with the push, a little more LG here with the tickle as Heavy's gonna be up, and RAISY needs to try and get positioning on this to at least deal some damage. Keel with that fat stack gonna be so hard to deal with, and that's a clean pickup, so RAISY has a lot of work ahead of him.
RAISY showing up to Mega really early. Might not have the exact timing. You could tell that he was waiting kind of for it to spawn, but then he realized it's not gonna be up yet, so it's gonna be later. Moving away, just look at that monstrous stack that DaHanG has for it. Just incredible. RAISY, the only thing he can do right now is hope and get some chip damage in. Hang on, the LG floating DaHanG off the map.
Oh my god.
Just about to talk about how RAISY was going to play the calculated game, slowly whittling that monstrous stack down, and then he makes that happen. Beautiful play. But DaHanG retaliates and quickly ties it back up.
That's just so smart from RAISY. He's like, I know I'm outstacked. I'll just push him off the map, and the attack off the Mega as DaHanG is crippled right now, 36 HP, bleeding internally, needs to try and find something. RAISY forces him off the Mega or the Heavy. This should be absolutely free, and I'm still in awe of that play. That was just beautifully done from RAISY.
And then, of course, the signature switch to the Gauntlet right after, probably a big shrug as well. Happy with that frag, as he should be. And now positioning himself for the Mega. And slowly making his way up to that center area of the map. He's gonna hear the pickup. Get that timing on lockdown. Knows that it isn't his opportunity yet, but there's also no pressure on him. We're only 4 minutes in, the score is tied. The American player can absolutely just wait and see for the perfect opportunity. Hoping to do some more damage, but it will be RAISY landing 2 clutch shots. Is he going to be able to pressure this? DaHanG has got a lot of resources to work with, though. Taken by surprise, was not expecting RAISY to be there. Does land a grenade in the face, but the frag will be going in RAISY's favor.
A little bit of pineapple damage there as DaHanG is pushed into the Mega. A little bit of a gift from RAISY here as he wants to try and get in there and do some boxing, but he decides it's probably not for the best there. Popping the Berserk. DaHanG has positioning on this. He should be able to trap him in the telly. Can he land the damage? RAISY, amazing LG here. DaHanG down to 41 HP. He's going to hang in there, hit one rail, go for another one. Just missing out over the shoulder, and somehow hits the second one to deny that Heavy. What a play from DaHanG.
I felt it. You sometimes you can feel it when RAISY goes for the jump, knowing he went for the small health bubble first, but even that was not enough to put him above the threshold, guaranteeing that he could take another rail. And so dropping down with that jump after the delayed action, DaHanG, he's gonna hit that 9 times out of 10. That was a bit of a misplay by RAISY, in the hopes of getting himself the armor. Some rails are being exchanged, both players landing one rocket for rail. And this time it will be RAISY successfully picking up the Heavy. DaHanG now on the back foot. RAISY paddling down the gas, but what? Rocket into Pineapple. DaHanG had zero business winning that fight. RAISY completely taken aback by that.
A little bit of pineapple goes a long way. That's big damage, and that is exactly what Keel can do here. As DaHanG fortunate to land that combo, and he should be able to gain some momentum off this. He's going to try and attack the Heavy. The LG so strong from RAISY, and he dodges all those pineapples this time. Dancing all day, tying it at 4, but he's extremely weak. DaHanG waiting, perched up above, trying to make it rain again. He's going to get floated to the heavens! RAISY with the LG from down below, punishing. That was incredible.
What in the world was that?
Oh my god.
40. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that in the Pro League. RAISY catches a glimpse of his feet and just lifts him into the heavens above for a beautiful frag. I already chuckled a bit when I saw RAISY again set up with the LG below that ledge, but I was not expecting that.
I cannot believe what just happened as RAISY just picks up Keel like a baby and rocks him with a sweet, sweet lullaby towards the heavens. DaHanG down to 37 HP, looking so weak. RAISY's going to be able to grab some bubbles and some armor, trying to make this double jump, and he does. Back up to the Mega. He's going to stack back up as Heavy's first, so he's going to rotate accordingly, almost hitting a rail. DaHanG needs to be careful here. He's very weak, and this is just all RAISY right now. LG on LG. DaHanG needs to make the push, but he won't be able to get onto the Heavy, and it's the RAISY show right now.
Absolutely, that LG looking on point as always. RAISY sharp. The senses honed, the aim perfect. 5 frag lead, and that is not good for DaHanG because his champion Keel does pack quite a punch, but ultimately has very little to work with in terms of mobility. So when he has to chase RAISY down, that is going to be difficult to do. Even getting a tri-bolt frag, a rail off the spawn, RAISY not taking his foot off the gas just yet. Wants to keep it up.
Oh, DaHanG actually converts as RAISY tries to flirt with him with the gauntlet, but nothing doing. DaHanG doesn't want to get cut down quite yet. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to get 5 frags. Can he do it, Flea?
It's a possibility. That's all that I'm going to say about that. If RAISY keeps on going in with the gauntlet, then it is likely, I would even say, but I think that RAISY is going to nip that in the butt before we even get close. DaHanG dropping down, precarious situation. RAISY though misses the rail, decides not to go in for the punch. What is he doing? He's not even gonna go anywhere. He just stands there burning time. DaHanG caught off guard, didn't know that RAISY was up there, predicted the drop down, didn't quite get it right though. And now 2 minutes left, DaHanG taking control of the center stage, but he can't just sit and rest on his laurels. He needs to apply pressure, and RAISY is perfectly fine just sticking to that side of the map.
Cue the Benny Hill theme as RAISY was just dancing all day. He knows he's up 5 frags. DaHanG had to hit something. He didn't have a rail. The rockets wouldn't land. And RAISY feeling pretty confident, I imagine. 1 minute 20, 5 frags. He's got the Doomslayer. He could double jump around the map, traversing it effortlessly, really. And he's got Berserk again if he wants to throw the fists and maybe do a little bit of a dance. 1:10 remaining as time ticking away for DaHanG.
And DaHanG knows it's over. RAISY is just standing on the other side of the wall, trying to guess his position. Isn't even going to show his face anymore. He knows that this one is in the back. DaHanG already going to have to start thinking about the next map, which is Ruins, if I'm not mistaken, for these. So, anything you think that DaHanG has been doing wrong, what should he change in map 2?
I mean, if you're a Third Eye Blind fan, you want to say, I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend, as he gets floated again. And that LG is just so strong. I think DaHanG is playing pretty well. It's just RAISY doing RAISY things with the shotgun out of the telly. DaHanG doesn't have a choice. He's got to try and make something happen, but with 20 seconds left, it's all for naught. You can't really say that DaHanG misplayed anything. I mean, that peek over the ledge that led to the float, that'll probably be one of the highest viewed clips, I would imagine. I don't know if you could blame DaHanG for that. He was just kind of taking a peek, RAISY punishing, and then it just led to this string of frags, and in a blink of an eye, RAISY just takes full control, hits him with the gauntlet, flashes the ring a little bit, and then he's just like, yeah, what's up, map number 1 for me. And that's exactly what happens when you give RAISY any kind of advantage.
Yeah, there definitely isn't anything that DaHanG did specifically wrong. RAISY just played an extremely powerful game, and of course there were those 2 unlucky moments, the LG lift off the map and then the stairway to heaven afterwards. But overall, RAISY using that mobility that he has, especially around the center area of the map, to such great effect. The double jump that allows you to jump from rockets straight to that center area, or from Mega to the center area as well. So many little jumps that you can do around the railgun as well. It helps out tremendously, and all those little bits, they add up and they translate into long-term control and consistency. And DaHanG, things were still tied up at around the halfway point, but then RAISY just ran away with the score.
Just incredible play there, throwing some punches even. We saw time and time again DaHanG getting caught out in that choke point towards the Mega. RAISY playing it well. Getting a little cheeky there with that gauntlet. DaHanG able to get that shotgun kill, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was the RAISY show. You can see the frustration on DaHanG's face. He's like, how do I get back into this one? A little bit rough, but RAISY doing RAISY things, 11-5 as we take a look at the stats.
DaHanG actually getting more of the major item pickups, and that is exactly how he plays, right? We said it before we even got into the game. DaHanG, he likes to play and base his game on the items, whereas RAISY is much more positionally based, always looking for opportunities to do damage and capitalize, making anything out of his opponent's mistakes and those clever, creative plays, while DaHanG is sticking to a more traditional playstyle around the items, is helping him off. You can see clearly the difference in damage, 4.5k for RAISY versus 2.8 by DaHanG. You don't need an advantage in terms of item pickups when you're out damaging your opponent like that.
Yeah, and RAISY's so smart, you know, when you're heavily outstacked against a Keel, what's the easiest way to melt him? Throw him off the map, send him out of the club, and that's exactly what RAISY did, and that's just so disheartening as a Keel player, you know, full control of the map, and then just like that, all gone, and just spiraled out of control from there. Again, DaHanG kind of got some refrags in there, but at the end of the day, it's just all RAISY. DaHanG has to dig deep for this one, mental reset going into Ruins. Visor versus Strog, how do you feel about that matchup?
Strog, I think, could absolutely work. I said it before we started. I think this slightly favors DaHanG. Strog just has a mobility bonus, as well as the Peeker comes in very clutch. We saw Rafa make great use of this exact champion earlier against Garpy as well. And of course, we all know that DaHanG, he's the one who brought Strog to the mainstream. He perfected and mastered him before anyone else did, and showed that this champion is indeed viable at high-level duel just the same. So I am going to give a bit of an advantage to DaHanG, but on the other hand, RAISY, incredibly talented and intelligent player, that ability, the piercing sight, could help up his information game even further.
We are live on map number 2 of this set. Is RAISY going to get the clean sweep and give DaHanG a free vacation to the lower bracket? We will find out shortly here. Is DaHanG getting in on those rockets? He has the Unholy Trinity. He has everything he needs to try and fight. Vision popped from RAISY early, so he's getting in on rockets a little bit late, but now he's well equipped to battle as well.
Also worth noting, previous game was on an NA server. DaHanG, can he make anything happen though? Nope.
Oh.
It was close. Peeker, decent
Max
amount
damage
of
from
damage.
DaHanG on that.
But as I was about to say, previous game was on an NA server. RAISY still hitting 56% LG. That is sick. And now we are playing on a European one. So a win on your home server, or rather for DaHanG, a loss on his home server, that doesn't bode well.
DaHanG gets a rail, but RAISY just has the stack after he strings together some beautiful rail shots. RAISY up to a minute in. Needs to be careful here. He's just traditional zoom into the wall, taking a little breather here, waiting on these vials. He wants that vision back up as soon as possible. Very smart play. DaHanG coming out of the telly could catch him here. RAISY pops the vision. He wants to be able to see everything and line up his prey here. Almost hitting a rail on the way out. That would have been big damage there, as DaHanG is going to get that Mega for free. Needs to be careful not to drop on this LG. We've already seen what RAISY can do with it here. DaHanG tempting fate a little bit. There's the Peeker. Nothing doing, as RAISY will get in on the heavy and make his way towards the back stairs.
Good to see how quickly RAISY disposed of the Peeker right there. It's rare to see Peeker taken down with 0 damage dealt by it when your opponent's just using a lightning gun, right? Usually people just go for the rail to take it down instantly, but RAISY, confident in his aim, just used the LG that time around. And now both players having a bit of a standoff around Mega. RAISY at the better positioning. He will clean up the item. He's going to drop down aggressively. Absolutely no fear. But he's got to be careful a little bit because DaHanG, that rocket, changed it all. And shotgun for the cleanup. RAISY, he's got to be careful. He doesn't get overzealous though. And look at this. He's just chasing with machine gun. DaHanG dropping down. Peeker comes out and he will drop dead. RAISY.
Wow.
So aggressive. How many people chase DaHanG halfway across the map with machine gun and nothing else, 40?
Well, it doesn't help if you're not looking, and DaHanG gave him a lot of free damage there. But yeah, as we mentioned, RAISY not afraid to play super aggressive, and that's what I was worried about. DaHanG not really retaliating, not landing the shots even when he did finally turn around. RAISY waiting to lay a trap with these rockets here. One misstep from DaHanG could cost him. RAISY doesn't even have that big of a stack, but he's willing to hold his ground, wait for this vision, make sure that he's safe. So he does grab the outer 50 shard. Mega's going to be up. I'm assuming RAISY's going to concede that, maybe set up for this heavy here, just in case. If DaHanG moves out to that courtyard. That would have been curtains, but the 50 shard across the map goes to RAISY as well, and a free heavy it is for DaHanG.
Clever play by RAISY. Not dropping down, not challenging for the heavy, knowing that he just didn't have the stack. That one rail, that's an equalizer. Stacks are basically identical right now. If RAISY can take down the peeker easily, manifest himself, doesn't manage to do so, actually gonna drop down. Oh, beautiful LG into rail from above. A vertical shot will drop RAISY to his knees. And DaHanG capitalizing off of that move instantly with heavy as well.
Great rail from DaHanG too. He's going to need to keep up this damage. He's going to drop with the rail, misses with that. Eats a little bit of LG, but that's okay. Not too bad. He's going to deny this outer armor shard. He is out of rockets though. This could be bad. Misses with the follow-up rail. Misses with another one here as RAISY's just dancing, just barely getting out of the line of sight here for these rails. But DaHanG with a little bit of momentum now as he grabs the Mega, moving on to the heavy.
RAISY still with the frag lead, but control fully cemented in favor of the American player representing Liquid. DaHanG though, I think he might have heard or caught sight of RAISY for a moment. And RAISY now completely changing up the pace of the game, 40. We've gone from hyper-aggressive to just defending and reacting to what your opponent does. Look at the sneaky little positioning! RAISY crouching behind that little ledge, trying to bait the drop down with the LG at the ready, and in doing so he delays DaHanG long enough to secure himself the heavy.
I'm starting to wonder what RAISY's dating profile looks like. You know, long walks on the beach, enjoys floating people with LG. Like, just tempting fate every time DaHanG gets close to a ledge. After what happened on Awoken, I'm scared for the boy. But RAISY's still up by 1. He's going to grab at this Mega. Timing will be in DaHanG's favor here as he heard the pickup. A little bit of nail spam. RAISY dancing through it, playing a platformer now as he pushes in with the LG, following up with rockets. He wants to do big damage. The peeker comes out. DaHanG trying to capitalize with the LG of his own. RAISY not landing the damage he needs. The rail won't hit, but neither will DaHanG's. RAISY surviving by the skin of his teeth. 50 HP, able to grab 50 shard. DaHanG will claim that heavy armor. He wants this frag so bad as RAISY just standing his ground in the T-con area, grabbing the Mega, and DaHanG needs to be careful fighting this.
That was the most awkward fight we've seen all series, right? First, RAISY just matrixing his way through all of that nail gun spam, and then both just fumble everything on the stairs. RAISY doesn't hit a thing with rockets from below. DaHanG runs out of LG, switches to rockets, misses, doesn't get the rail either. Very messy, very chaotic, but the scoreline remains the same, and that is helping out RAISY. The Maestro player now has positioning on Mega as well. Jump on it. Little juicy rocket from DaHanG that is going to take care of some of that item, but RAISY hyper aggressively once again switching up the pace completely, but he's got to be careful. One rail will take him out, and he's not in the greatest of positions. Nice little shot. Is he even gonna go for it? The balls on this man. He just dips twice, going for the rail, knowing that he is on the brink of death. Brilliant.
Just absolutely gigantic from RAISY there. I wonder if he has to check him before flying. He's going to grab the outer armor shard up 3, getting closer to 7 minutes in. Time is ticking for DaHanG, and RAISY looks more and more like he's sending DaHanG on that road trip towards the lower bracket, Flea.
Sure is looking like it. DaHanG, he's got to make something happen. He's got the stack. He's got the mobility as well. But RAISY, loving that little play. Peeker comes on through. He's just gonna keep going for DaHanG! Oh, that would have been something else, 40. Misses the final rail shot. DaHanG still in plain view of RAISY, completely ignoring the little robot. And now focusing on Strog. A little bit of LG, lost Pickle, all she wrote, and now DaHanG, this is desperation mode, 40.
Yeah, DaHanG going all in, just getting caught with his peeker in his hands, and RAISY takes advantage of it, and the LG up the jump pad again. Time is of the essence. DaHanG has to make these crazy plays, but it's just leading to layups for RAISY, and the gap is getting wider and wider. 5 frags, 2 minutes left.
RAISY, he's actually even gonna go in for this. Look at that exchange!
Wow.
flying past each other on the drop down, and RAISY, good rocket following it up by a rail. DaHanG, is there anything left that he can do? RAISY is even going to get the Mega. One rail will take care of DaHanG. Luckily for him, he finds some resources, but he needs damage. He knows he had to take that fight. RAISY, cool as can be, standing his ground and making quick work of DaHanG's last effort, it seems like.
Oh, just so many presents for DaHanG as he just has to work so hard, takes so much damage for everything. He does get that frag, he's extremely weak. That rail almost through the grate would have been, well, great. But 1 minute left, 5 frags down. I feel like RAISY can just kind of play around with his food and take this victory in 2, Flea. This was, I don't want to say clinical, but I don't know what else to describe it as. It was just RAISY being RAISY, finding these cheeky angles to trap, little peeks here and there, things that we haven't really seen. And look at that, just stalking his prey, letting DaHanG fly around the map, getting a shot through those cheeks here as he's just going to pull out his peeker again. DaHanG actually gets in on this Mega, and RAISY's okay with that because his LG is still strong, 27 HP, still gets that frag.
I mean, 40, this is like...
Wow.
For some of what we've just seen, you would think that RAISY is the one playing the fast crouch sliding champion, right? The way he exerts control and keeps pressuring DaHanG, it would feel as if DaHanG is playing Visor and RAISY is on the Strog. But it's obviously the complete opposite. Beautiful plays from RAISY. As you said it yourself, right? Clinical is the perfect term to describe this, as it does mean that Liquid DaHanG is going to be dropping down into the lower brackets, where he, of course, still has a shot of making it far in the tournament. But it is RAISY, a man who we've seen face off in the grand finals of these tournaments several times.
Just looking really strong, hyper-focused, not afraid to play his game again, hyper-aggressive when he wants to be, and he makes it work. He hits like a truck, Flea. Like just a highlight reel of LG rockets. He was shooting 62% rail, I believe, on Ruins. Just so damaging. It's just amazing to watch.
RAISY just looking completely unfazed. Just that frag, still the chase with the machine gun. Damn.
Yeah, even DaHanG was like, what are you doing? What in the world? But RAISY gets away with it. He just hits so hard, making all of the damage count, doing a really good job of keeping vision when he needed it, playing distance when he needed it, but mostly just surprising DaHanG with all these different angles, letting DaHanG fly by, getting the damage in the back, the hit and runs.
Yep.
RAISY just playing it super, super well.
Absolutely, and also just to keep the viewers informed, on the B stream, it would appear that Xanaku has actually beaten Avec 2-1, winning on Molten Fall as playing his trusty Anarchy. So that means that Avec, representing Endpoint, yeah, he's done for, it seems. Xanaku moving on through the lower brackets, but it looks like the Polish Prince is leaving us today.
Good night, sweet prince. But good morning, Wheat. Why don't you get back in here, Dad, and talk to us a little bit about what you just saw?
I mean, we saw the greatest LG kill of 2020 by far on map 1. I mean, just watching it from both perspectives was just absolutely insane. And it was just literally a pixel of DaHanG that was seen. And I've never seen a straight up just a lift like that. The wind beneath DaHanG's wings, and it was RAISY. And then, yeah, RAISY in map 2 was just like the top form RAISY that A, wasn't surprised to see, but B, I feel like maybe didn't show itself as much during the 13-week stage 1 matches, but 60% rail. He had a couple rails that made me say what out loud. Just phenomenal. So I mean, RAISY's looking very, very nice. That's going to set up an interesting matchup, because he will go on to face the winner of Rafa versus Cypher. And man, I mean, all sorts of interesting results, upsets, and everything else here in day 2 of the QPL Stage 1 finals. So I'm blown away.
Yeah, absolutely. RAISY just putting on a clinic, advancing, sending DaHanG to the lower bracket. And I don't call on the community a lot, but I'm calling on the community. Somebody clip that LG and put it to Pennywise. We all float down here. Just do it because it'll be a great clip. And also just a quick comment on the Avik versus Zanaku. Shouts to Zanaku knocking out Avik, man.
Yeah.
That's a weird
Yeah.
house to live in now because they're boot camping. They're right next to each other. I'm sure Avik is going to pour vodka on Zanaku's computer. Maybe that's just speculation. I don't know. I can't
A
say.
shoey.
Yeah, maybe a shoey.
A
I don't
shoey
know.
lost.
But,
It's like, oops.
Together
didn't
they
mean to do
share
that.
one.
But
Exactly.
yeah, also very important to know that 40 Lines, you are not the cursor. You did
Yeah,
not
that's-
curse RAISY in this.
I totally
so,
forgot
you
about
know,
that, actually. Yeah.
I feel like you should be very confident and safe making predictions from this point forward. And no longer do you have to worry about that. So great job, you guys. Congratulations to RAISY. We've got more quarterfinals matches happening right here on the mainstream. When we come back, it's going to be time for Chain versus Wenger. I've personally been waiting for this one. Excited to see what Chain's going to do here in the Stage 1 finals. So don't go away. When we return, more quarterfinals action coming at you here from the QPL Stage 1 finals. We'll be right back.